Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about analysis, and to get our thinking started, we are going to be using images. So remember that analysis is going to go beyond what the obvious surface level answer would be. It's not something necessarily that the text or an image is going to tell you directly. You're going to have to dig deep with analysis. You're going to have to go a little bit deeper to make inferences, which is your prediction or connection you make based on the text. Okay, so let's get started with an image, and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so let's first take just a minute to look at this image and notice some of the details. So take a few minutes to do that and just think about what you notice. Okay, so you might want to take a pause in the video right now as you are working on that. After you've done that, let's take a few notes. You're going to need a T-chart. Okay, so I have mine up here, so you can just draw two columns on your paper and that will work. And on one side, we're going to have level 2 words. We'll end up calling these L2s, but since we're just first getting started, we'll start with level 2 words. And on the other side, you're going to write level 1 words. Okay, and these are going to be L1s. All right, some of you might already be familiar with this. Okay, so thinking about a level 2 word, these are going to be words that go beyond the obvious. So the example I always give is that if you see a ring on a person's left ring finger, you assume that they are married, right? It doesn't say married across their finger, but you see the wedding ring, which makes you have the inference, gives you the inference, the prediction that that person is married. So marriage is actually an abstract concept, whereas the ring itself is the evidence. So the level 2 words, that's going to be something abstract. That's not something you can necessarily point to, but you do know it to be true based on evidence. So that could be an idea, a thought, an association, meaning when you see one thing like a wedding ring, you associate that with marriage, okay, or a feeling. Okay, so again, you won't find these directly in an image or directly in a text, but this is the analysis. That's the deeper level thinking that we were talking about. And over here on the level 1 words, this is going to be direct evidence. Okay, so this is going to be what you can actually point to. Okay, so make sure you get all of that down. It's direct evidence, something that you can point to. Okay, that's going to be the ring of this scenario. Okay, so with that in mind, let's try to list a couple of L2 words and their evidence based on this picture. Okay, so based on this picture, I see these children here. They have empty bowls being held out. They look like they're ready to be served. They look like they don't have anything, right? These are empty bowls. So it makes me think that maybe these children have experienced some level of poverty in which they are maybe do not have enough food or are looking for food, looking for some assistance. And so when I look up the word poverty in the thesaurus, I get a lot of different synonyms, which are words that are going to have a similar meaning. Okay, so some of the things that I see in there are hardship, and I think that would definitely work. It looks like they are experiencing something difficult here, a hardship. I also see scarcity. That's a pretty good word. That's when you don't have enough of something. Well, in this case, I see that there's nothing in their bowls, and so these kids appear to be experiencing some sort of scarcity. And I also see lack or lacking. That means they're missing something. And I also see insufficient, and I think that would work really well as well because obviously they do not have anything in their bowls here. Okay, so with those in mind, now we need evidence to back these up. Okay, so these are ideas that you get from the actual image. Now we need evidence to back those up. So in this case, we have all synonyms. Remember, those are words with similar meanings. So with a similar meaning. So our evidence is probably going to be the same throughout. Okay, so we can do a little trick there. So when I think about poverty, hardship, scarcity, lacking, insufficient, think about some of the evidence that you see that would support those L2s. So like I mentioned before, they have empty bowls, right? They are children in a line, and it appears that they're waiting for food because of their bowls. Okay. Um, let's see, what else? It doesn't really look like they have already eaten something because everything looks clean. So I'll go even further to say that the bowls appear unused. So there actually was not any food in them to begin with, it doesn't look like. Okay, so I have a couple of things that I can work with here. And so your next step, we're going to watch or you're going to watch the next video, and we're going to do one more image, and then we'll get into writing an actual short answer response.